What? Is it me? Oh, I see. I thought it was pages, not a continuous scroll.
It's a continuous scroll.
So anyway, back to the story I was complaining about.
Yeah.
The character gets in a fight and he can't avoid because he gets trapped by. Oh, I like how I couldn't. Can I use my character?
Yeah, you should be able to out here. Oh, out here.
Can't for me.
Those two are still locked.
Now they're forced in. That's good. Well, actually, that's a cool.
I was gonna say, if you really want Sora, you could just swap Rion back to Spirit.
Yes. It did eat all of the plushies off my character because they kicked them from my party, so they just gave me all of their.
Yep.
Kind of nice, at least.
Later Falcom games have it better. They're just like, yeah, they're still equipped, but you just have access to just rip all the stuff off of them if you want. Like at all times, even if they're not in your party. But like that way, when you get control of them again, they'll still have it if you leave.
Yeah. Bonk. Thank you.
I mean, that's a big one, so that makes sense.
Bonk. Yeah, so the main character gets in a fight with a big enemy that they shouldn't be able to fight, so he just like in survival mode. He survives within the enemy. He's like, here, let me mark you. What does the mark do? Who knows? A little suspicious. And like, you know, the story actually does really well with this. They're like, oh, the main character is healing really fast, and the enemy he just fought was a werewolf, so maybe the mark means something. Because the reader's like, okay, wait a second here. He's healing fast, fought a werewolf, and the werewolf did something to him. And so I'm like, okay, maybe he got werewolfed just a little bit. No. The healing was due to his, oh, what? The healing was due to him unlocking his magic. Okay, that's pretty neat. He unlocked his magic, and now his body's like kind of getting used to magic and forming and stronger. Okay, cool. So the mark. Okay, well, it's a mark, so maybe the monster knows where he is, or can find him later, or something, right? No. Apparently, the mark just lets the monsters find control him at a distance. Can control his body, can turn off his magic, can edit his soul and memories. Yeah. Also,
what?
Yeah, just what? That was my conclusion too. Oh, and by the way, in this story, there are like deity-like beings that are on the level of they're like gods, but they're not. They're just like really powerful individuals. So powerful, they kind of just break things by existing. And so this werewolf creature was definitely not one of them. And so why does he have all of these powers that definitely aren't werewolf related? Because he has the super hyper regeneration. In fact, the main character almost tried to kill him. Probably would have done it really well too if it wasn't just like this is like a super alpha werewolf, like real strong. Is that? So anyway. This is awkward.
Use your dash? Okay, or do that. I'm pretty sure your dash would have broken those, but yeah.
Maybe. I'll try that next time. I'm probably gonna do it again.
It'll never happen again.
Yeah, probably not.
You can try to break that last pillar.
I'll do it. I'll try it. Yeah, so that's kind of nonsense. Because the gods already do something, and they like the way the character ends up being is like he's kind of fighting between who he is and who he got transferred into and who he should be, and it's really kind of good because most stories tend to not to pay attention to this fact. Usually they're like, oh, you're just the new guy. That's it. But they were actually doing something new, and then the godlike characters are like, okay, well, we're just gonna forcibly merge you now because, well, if you don't get this done, then the world itself is gonna like refuse your existence.
Oh, it doesn't work, huh?
Yeah,
Huh. So it was the correct move to be someone that isn't Mitsuki.
yeah. Really awkward.
It's because you can't be at the top. You have to run into it
Yeah.
and go up. Right, you have to use the momentum for rising up.
But they like gods like forcibly merge his soul, so he doesn't have the conflict in the world itself. Like that was already kind of rude because what it did was it caused like a supernatural winter on top of the winter that they already had, so it was really terrible. A lot of like peasants died, and he feels responsible for the peasants because he didn't build enough like wood, like coal-fired for like ovens or like heaters. You know, like the old like wood stove thing that he.
Yeah.
There's like a coal-fired version that I makes because they have coal in his duchy and a lot of iron, but they don't have a lot of wood access because the merchants are kind of monopolizing it to try to make money and capitalize off it. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this story, and it's fucking ruined by the fact that. Oh, by the way, this mark can just mind control you, turn off your magic, and edit your thoughts to make sure that you're not thinking about your old life because that's detrimental. And it's like, but why though? Ah. Anyway, let's bonk that. Oh, I guess I don't have it. Oops. I thought I had a big old.
You have cross drive. You don't need it now, but
I was gonna target them all and hit them all with the big attack.
yeah,
But,
that makes sense.
But yeah, I was very disappointed today. And honestly, it's only been like the most recent week or two's worth of chapters to like 8 to 12-ish chapters that this has happened. So it's oh, there's the other golden helmet. Nice.
Yep.
There's like one more I think that you said.
There is one more. No bonus points for guessing where it is.
Oh boy, it's definitely not the next dungeon. Who could have guessed?
You open.
There's been one per dungeon, so
Yes.
nice. But yeah, there's this like the story does a lot of the pseudo body jacking reincarnation isekai really well, and it's very unfortunate that I hope that the author goes back and just changes this slightly, because there's a lot of ways to get the character to do what you want them to do in the story, but without like literally puppeteering them with some silly nonsense. Okay, they did.
They did do it again, but this time, no. You just have to not be Mitsuki.
Like for instance, the character needs to get better at sword work, because well, if you're going to be useless up close, then, now what if assassin comes for you? The heir of a ducal house. He's already been attempted to be assassinated once, and that's why he's even there. So they want him to get better at using his sword so he can defend himself in close range. And he has this way to augment himself using mana that shouldn't be possible because he understands something. He doesn't quite understand it. Like, he has a way to augment his physical attribute, mana reinforcement. And so they set him up as to be this powerful spellcaster who has very limited mana pool because of his weird soul thing. Because he scares the soul is like entwined or something. Doesn't wonder about it. Okay, this is just rude, okay?
You can dash into a char. Oh, or just do that. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
So yes, I get it. The
Yeah.
proper, well, the way that would make the most sense is for the character to realize that this is in their best interest and do it. But we can't have that.
Yeah. The way it's used made me it was the character was starting to like shrink with the sword and like sword, but something forces his hand and he has to go now to go see somebody. And what happens is he knows he's going to get ambushed on the street because this is, oh boy, you're holed up in your little keep when we're going to kidnap somebody that you care about / it's just some peasant who he wants to go save because he's being a good noble boy. He wants to save. So we're just going to kidnap a peasant and hold them ransom or hostage until you come out here. And so he's like, okay, well, they're going to attack me on the way there. So we're going to prepare. We're going to bring some guards and stuff, not go solo. And so they plan this out. And they go. But then the fight happens, and he's like, oh no, I got separated because they did the whole cart in an alley trick. And now I'm fighting 3-on-1. But hey, I'm a mage, so I'm just gonna cast a fireball real fast. And so he's like, he goes to cast it, but then his mana just doesn't work. And then his arms start moving on their own will and just start stabbing. And he's like really good at it. And so obviously he's being puppeteered. And it's like, well, you know, could have had this moment be like really showing it to him that he needs to be more efficient with his mana and stuff because he has a limited mana pool. He has like half the capacity of any normal mage at his tier, but he's really efficient with his spells because he's like an engineer and mapped out the pathways and found the best way to cast the spells using the mana pathways in the body. So he has really efficient spells, but his spells are still limited because he has half the capacity. Really interesting. And so instead of making him learn this lesson,
it's interesting, but it sounds like we just gave him a limitation and then undid it.
So he has more efficient spells, but he has half the capacity. His spells aren't really costing half as much. They're costing like maybe 15%, 20% less mana for way more effect. But he still can cast like a little bit more than half his capacity would normally like he would. So if he could like, if a normal person could cast 20 with his capacity, he casts 10. But with this bonus, like his way of casting efficient, he maybe cast 12, 13 maybe. So it's not a quite one-to-one undoing.
No, but like,
yeah,
it just feels like, why did we do this?
I
just wanted him to be a little bit weaker.
That the capacity thing is due to his soul thing because he has a combined soul. He's not able to use
whatever
full capacity.
Listen, whatever excuse the author made up. Just like what, like
it
zoom
feels,
out, bigger picture.
It feels a little
what
silly.
Are we doing here?
And his spells being efficient is, I mean, the way it's explained is actually, it makes sense because anyone could just use the way he casts spells. They could just learn how to cast the spells if he teaches them, or they could figure it out on their own.
Yeah,
it's not limited to him. his
Right.
capacity thing is limited to him, and the way it's done is pretty good. And I was looking forward to figuring out what was, because obviously there's stuff happening in the story where it's big picture and little picture, real neat. But then this whole, you're being mind controlled now, your magic got off. Oh, and your memories are being forced suppressed by this random monster thing. Not even a god thing. They from the last place? Killer Guardian.
ですが、ここは絶対に引けません。アイドルの底力、思い知らせてあげるわ。
The power of an idol. Anyway, I was
Ads.
disappointed. Yeah, more ads.
I mean, yeah.
Disappointed. Unfortunate. I hope that the author goes back on it. Release. I say fixing, but like if the author can do what he wants. Who am I to, you know, tell them that they're doing it wrong in anything other than my own opinion? It's just, it feels bad. You already,
Yeah.
I know. I've talked about agency times before. You know what? I have a character that's meant for this.
For
All this,
move and
do the
shoot.
bonking.
No. Hey, you know what you should do? There you go. There you go.
Doing it.
Look at that health bar melt. Wow, this is like the perfect. Never mind. Oh no, he's doing it now. Now's the perfect. Yeah, this is like the perfect boss. To just fight with Yuki. He's so immobile.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how much it's basically cheating to play Yuki.
What's that?
As I said, it's just kind of unfair to play Yuki. He's just too good. Now, if it was like the last boss where it was super mobile, then all of his better moves would be right.
Yeah, that was quite
The
annoying.
big laser wouldn't do anything. But for this boss, yeah.
Melt them down. No. We did it. Yeah, so in conclusion, I've run out of book again.
It just keeps happening.
さすがは柊さんたちだ。
Or so. Has Sea Mantis gone on break again, or is it
No.
Okay, so in about a month I'll have enough. Read about 300. But it might be a month and a half too. Around a couple months from now, read it, and I'll be happy. I am really looking forward to finally getting espionage arc with Torch.
Oh,
Or was
yeah,
Torchlight?
that's right.
あ
There was a bit of that,
Yeah.
like at the early stages of since
諸君らと美月が合流していたとは
Thing is, like,
since the last time you read.
a little bit. Okay, that's
礼を言わせてもらうぞ X
どうもっす。
どうやらあちらも大した怪我ではなさそうですし。
はあしかし
I'm
ま
looking
あ
forward to
助けたのは北斗会長のついでなんだろうが
getting to that part in this. Feels
そ
like
の
there
どうし
isn't
て
much
手当てまでしてくれる
more
の
left to do. Oh, that's right. They're going to, was it Federation space?
別に。これ
At least they
から
were, like, that was like right when I
Corporations.
left off. Corporations.
Wait, no. Did they go to the Federation? It's been so long. They're currently in the corporations.
Okay, so they were going to Corpo. Okay. It was not Federations, it was Corpo. Because they were going to go take advantage of allies, get around over there, and then use the time that Matt's spending there for him to make his new armor with
Okay.
the big
yes,
boss
that's
of
correct.
Corporation space.
アイドルの思いがどれだけ強いか
Yeah, that's
教えてあげるって。
え
あなたみたいに見もしないでくだらない呼ばわりは許せないの。
I am looking forward to that, but also it feels like the whole espionage stuff that's going.
That's
生のステー
kind
ジを
of
見てもらうから。
been more or less
エッセキ
not fully. I don't know if it's been fully resolved, but a major piece of it has been resolved.
Well, maybe not like
I'm not
the
gonna say
espionage
how.
thing against him, but like the
Yeah.
whole enemies trying to go after them, like because they're doing stuff that they don't like. That
yeah,
the
like
little
I
shadow group. Okay.
Like I said, a piece of that has been resolved. I won't say how, because obviously that'd be spoilers.
リオ先輩、かっこいいです。
But they're a pretty significant resolution in that area has been reached. So
What chapter came?
I'll let you. Pulling up my email.
でも、これで3本の
Do
柱
you
の
read
う
them in
ち
your email, or do you
2 本
actually
が
go?
止まったことにもなります
I
ね。
just read them in the Gmail app at this point.
Honestly,
Like,
their app, both web and they're both browser and mobile, are just absolutely garbage. Just Patreon
the
itself.
Patreon app.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't. $4.97.
残るわ。
Okay. My last read was 480. Like my book.
Oh, that's not that far.
My book of books.
But that's not that far. That was still this year, yeah.
Yeah, it was this year. It was only like I think it was early January.
Yeah, that makes sense. Probably right after, or right before he took that hiatus, that month-long hiatus.
国
I
のステ
think
ー
I
ジ
think it was. I think I need to update my book.
私の中にいた
My
天
book of
使よ
books
り
is
も
little notebook with all the stories I like to keep. What I would do is scroll through my Kindle app, but there's so many things in there.
ここへ来て
Like, well, where do I
さ
find the thing that I was looking for?
すがに応募する連チャンは
Especially if I've forgotten the name.
会長、
Yeah.
お嬢様。
Because like there was a story that unfortunately it seems like the author has gone inactive or hopefully they're all right. Hopefully. The story was called Rising from the Abyss, and it was a really good made. And I was like, I have the main story, I recall what happened in it. What was the name of it? And I was struggling for so long to find it until I came across it again. And so I had to write it down.
京香さん、遅れて申し訳ありません。
And
いや、よく来てくれた。
very sad that the author seemed gone. And then there's a different story where the author is very clearly active and not like removed from, right? Or no, it's still around. It isn't writing, and I'm very, very upset. It's also,
I see.
やりなさい。
like, well, I check in every now and then. Like the author is still online because, oh, really, did you see it when users were last active? And the author last active today. New chapter, no. What I suspect is because this author actually got the first book published on it.
すごい。
Oh,
Hold on. Let's not gloss over how Secretary Lady just
yeah, she came in with a gun.
one-tapped-
Everyone
one
fucking
tapped
blew her-
that
yeah.
boss.
とんでもねえな。
That's insane.
国防軍の部隊もかなりすごかったけど。
ゾディアックの要する対異界部隊、
Yeah,
アングレカン、
yeah. They just had these guys the
騎
whole
士
time.
に
And
勝る連動ですね。
they didn't use.
I mean, to be fair, there wasn't really anything happening until like maybe yesterday that would have prompted this level of response.
全員に元が
Other
つきま
than
す
the
が
multiple brim greeds that were around, like the witch.
Those were handled by a group of high schoolers. Can't
Oh,
have
you're
been
right,
that
you're
serious.
Very unnecessary.
とりあえず会長、
I do like how their guns are very
皆さんも
similar.
一旦外で
Is it
Yeah,
the
it's
same
like
model?
the same model but a different color. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
すでに安全は
Because they didn't mention that the guns were like a thing that other people had, the
京香さん、皆さん
Zodiac
ありがとう
had, and that they had a different
Yeah.
version
うん。
than
それでは
the
行くと
the
しようか。
military.
Yeah, because the
But they
militaries
were
are all
all
based off of Goto's actual weapon.
Kind of cool. I suspect the author that I'm talking about. So their first book got published, and I think they edited it to fix a bit of the few issues and hint more at to what was coming because most of these, as for most of these,
Oh yeah.
so a lot of things just suddenly happen, or like not suddenly, but like aren't like foreshadowed. And when you go back
Right.
and re-edit, you can go and foreshadow a lot more stuff.
単独行動ですか。
And so I suspect that this author is re-editing everything up until a point, and I think they're gonna just drop like all the books that, or
Okay.
like re-edit all the chapters at
そ
some
の
point
通り。実は少々。
because they got their
こ
first
の
book
状況で
published.
力にな
and
れる
there's like
当てがあってね。
500, 600 pages in that, and then there's what remains of their written work, which is like 100 or 1,500 pages, or like it's been a while, so it's
そもそも
let's just say like
未
2,000.
だ左門中の身で
There's like 5 books worth of content that they've written
行かせてやりたまえ。
that aren't published yet, and I think that they're just editing everything and or having issues with editors or something because we haven't heard from them
どう
basically,
やら智明君には何か考えがあるよう
but
だ。
their account's still active, so you know, here's hoping that they come back and make a story that I enjoy, that they can share it with.
Yeah.
構わないかね、諸君。
Hopefully they're okay. Oh, want terrible things.
まあ、俺たちは別に。
どうせ今の森宮氏からは逃げられないでしょうし。また狙ったりしたら
You
さ
have to
す
come
が
at it
に許
against
す。
find it. Because like, what happened in the story?
だそうです。
Like another, I like to read good RPG gamelit stuff and progression fantasy. A lot of the trope is like isekai or like
ですが
reborn in another world or
く
something.
れぐれ二度はありませんよ。
Not get another. Yeah, don't be evil again. This is your one chance.